more people are now suffering the consequences of the Ashley Madison leak. And a reporter for Alternet actually made a really great point about the number of users on Ashley Madison who come from countries where having an affair or being gay could be punishable by death. And so all of a sudden you realize that this is more than just some salacious story. It's actually having real life consequences on people. And we don't know whether or not they're actually going to be sentenced to death, but they would be persecuted within the countries that they're from. So here are some examples for you. One person writes, and this is an anonymous gay person, he writes, "I'm from a country where homosexuality carries the death penalty. I studied in America the last several years and used Ashley Madison during that time. I was single but used it because I am gay. Gay sex is punishable by death in my home country, so I wanted to keep my hookups extremely discreet. I only use Ashley Madison to hook up with single guys. Most of you are Westerners in countries that are relatively liberal on LGBT issues." But in this case, he's not from a liberal place. He's actually from Saudi Arabia. So he doesn't know whether or not Saudi officials are going to discover that he was on the website. He is a private citizen. He's not a public figure. So hopefully that'll protect him somewhat. But this will have real life consequences for people.
So now there's two factors involved in that. There's 1,200 users from Saudi Arabia alone, right? In Qatar, there's 53 accounts from there. And forget the homosexuality part. Adultery is punishable by 100 lashes, okay? And when the woman is Muslim and the man is not, the woman could be put to death. Yep. Okay, that seems really fair. Like if you're having sex, you're cheating on your husband with a Muslim man, yeah, okay, well, a non-Muslim, put him to death. Right? So this is the kind of barbarism that exists in some parts of the world, including Qatar and Saudi Arabia. So the people who thought it was really cute to leak this, they thought they were doing some sort of justice. Like, oh, if you cheated, you had it coming. Do you think the women who might get whipped 100 times in Qatar had it coming? Is that what you wanted to do? If any of them, God forbid. Now, this is very rare that they actually carry out this punishment, but it's certainly possible. You think if that happens, that's on your conscience. You're okay with it? Oh, well, they shouldn't have cheated. That's what they kept saying during the leaks. Well, they shouldn't have cheated. Well, did you think it through? No, you didn't think it through, did you? They didn't think it through
at all. And that's the part that angers me the most, because this wasn't cute. This wasn't funny. This isn't you trying to be more moral than anyone else. You're actually doing something that's immoral and also criminal by stealing this information. But for the people who won't get lashes or won't get executed because of their behavior on Ashley Madison, they have to worry about whether or not people will blackmail them with the information that was leaked, because that's also very likely.
So now that's the second layer of it, because in Saudi Arabia, you said maybe the fact that they're not famous will protect them. But there's now there's going to be a black market for blackmailing. So there are people diving in there right now, getting people's information, and systematically going one by one and blackmailing people. So when you hit Saudi Arabia with your treasure trove of 1,200 names, and you know a lot of people in Saudi Arabia in the upper echelons are enormously rich, perfect targets for blackmail, and then some of them are gay and can be executed for being gay, well, there are going to be bad people in the world who think, bingo, I just got rich, right? So the people who leak this information, you still feel proud? Like, haha, I got some gay person in Saudi Arabia killed, or I allowed a terrible, disgusting man to make however much money he made by blackmailing that guy or that woman.
What was their reason for the leakage? What leakage? What was their reason for leaking?
No, they think that they're more moral than others, and they said if you cheated, they said this is an immoral website, and you should shut it down. If you don't shut it down, well, then you had it coming. We told you to shut it down. But wait, you don't get to tell people how to shut down their website. Cost them hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Of course they're not going to shut down the website. Well, oh, you didn't do it. Well, it's not me. They should have protected it better. It's like saying, well, I broke into your house by throwing a rock through your window, but your window, it turns out, can be broken. That's not on me. You should have gotten bulletproof windows. You didn't, sucker. I now have all your stuff. That's not an excuse for stealing, right? And then ruining people's lives. They think that they're in the right. They have all snarky language about, like, if you're a man who's cheating on his wife, you can get away with it. Ha ha, right? What are you going to say to that guy when the Saudi government comes through? Ha ha, is that what you're going to say to him?
Again, the moral decisions that we make, the distinctions that we make, so plenty of people on this website are involved in, I presume, Some of them in good marriages. Some of them in terrible marriages.
Well, it can't be good marriage if they're fucking around on Ashley Madison, right? So
No,
obviously that's a sign of a problem in a marriage, no?
No, I don't know.
I don't know, and I
have
don't
any
care.
idea. Not universally, not 100% of the time, or it's a decision that I don't know. One person doesn't want to have sex anymore. One person is checked out. Maybe they don't care.
Maybe
they don't care.
Maybe they have an open marriage.
Maybe they have an open marriage.
What business is it
But
of
also,
ours?
we're making a decision that maybe it's the 39th most important thing happening in that marriage. Maybe they are verbally cruel to each other each day. Maybe they are. They disregard everything in the other person's wants and needs. Maybe they're abusive. But this is the thing we've decided to focus on. When there are, I'm not condoning or uncondoning this. I don't care. This is, I got my marriage. I'll worry about that. Jimmy can worry about hers. I don't know where
That's all right.
I do not know where that came from, but that was interesting.
I am feeling pretty.
You look great. I love the jacket.
Thank you.
Really quick
Very
to
sexy,
Ben's
Jimmy.
point, the Associated Press wrote this really great article about, well, I don't know if it's a really great article. They didn't out any names, which I really appreciated, but there were a bunch of governmental officials, not elected officials, just government workers that were implicated in this leak. And a lot of them had some interesting screen names. And one of them that I can just remember off the top of my head was sexless marriage, right? So some of these people might be going through relationship issues that we don't understand. We don't understand the dynamic of their relationship, and it's unfair for anyone to judge what's going on in their marriage. I think that's the bigger
so when
issue.
I say, so Anna, that's a great, thank you. You said it much better than I mean, that might be a problem in the marriage, but it might not be a sign that the marriage should be sabotaged or humiliated. Like, they might have a great bond. They might have kids. They might both have decided, I don't know, I like spending time with you, and if this solves our problem, so be it. Or one of them decided that, but might be okay too. But the notion that we just decide that this defines immorality. Somebody this week, an anchor in Kentucky, and Howard was a little mean to her, but she commented that because Howard Stern gave a talk gave the speech at Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux's wedding. She was like, I don't know why you'd pick Howard, a guy who's been divorced twice, who's already been divorced and has been through a very public divorce. Why you'd want that guy to give a speech at the wedding? And I was like, who the are you? Right? I mean, first of all, who hasn't been through a divorce? And Howard specifically has been a good, right. Okay, other than me at this table, who hasn't? So, no, but I mean, like, this is a woman this is a guy who was 25 years with one woman and 16 years with another woman. Like, this guy's not a womanizer. It's like, right? And this notion, though, that somehow that she was comfortable on television sort of passing this sort of just quick, arbitrary moral judgment. And that's what's most disappointing to me about this, is that we decide this is something that we're comfortable ridiculing people for.
And finally, you can't undo it. Once you release the demons out of the Pandora's box, as asked George W. Bush about Iraq, although he thinks, we're making progress with those demons, right? You can't put it back in the box, man. Okay, so now all the names are out, and then you go, oh shit, I didn't think about gay people in the Middle East. Oh fuck, too late. You can't put it back in. They already have the names, they have the credit cards, they have the emails in the Associated Press report. They didn't use government emails. They used their own emails, but the Associated Press was able to do it, and if they're able to do it, the blackmail guys can do it as well, right? They pieced together when they used their government computers, because they have the IP, they connected it to the credit card accounts and figured out who they were, okay? So now if they can do it in America, they could also do it in Saudi Arabia. And I know, I don't know, but maybe the hackers are sitting at home going, yeah, that's not on me, that's on the Saudi government. They shouldn't do that. You're right, the Saudi government shouldn't do that, but we already know they do that. We can't change the Saudi government, right? Yeah. We'd love to change the Saudi government, but we can't. Oh. So, but now you've released this.
No, it's on you.
It's on you. It's on you.
But it would be funny. It would kind of all be worth it if we did find out Bill Clinton was on there. It would be kind of funny.
We don't speak about names on the show.
It would be funny.
You know, but it just, the reason why I'm so angry about it is, and we all are, but I mean, is that, I mean, it has this sort of, it has this communist hunt aspect to it.
Yes.
This,
oh, no doubt.
Look at this. Look, we've made a list.
Yeah.
And you're evil, and you're on the list. And the people who are on that list, I mean, even people who have nothing to fear except their spouse, right? Of which I suspect is obviously is the overwhelming majority of people on the list. Most people probably don't do it with their spouse's compliance, just I'm guessing, right? Mm-hmm. And most people aren't in government jobs, right? But so most people, but they're just, this happened, and they pointlessly are living in terror for nothing, for no reason at all.